What up, everybody? This is FEARCast. I am your host, Fear Motherfucking Innes. How are you doing? I bet you didn't think this was coming back. I wasn't sure if it was coming back. Anyway, so here's what we're going to do. I don't know if anybody, you guys might all be new. I don't know if anybody even knows. So anyway, a few years ago, FYFC Studios shut down. Big issues. If you want to know the deets, you can go check out our other podcast called Talk Life. It's either attached to this one in some way, or if you go to nftfyb.com, it's got all of our episodes for all of our different shows. But the bottom line is there was a falling out. It was all bad, and all episodes got wiped off the planet. The crazy thing is, if you go on to a lot of places, you can still find FIFCast, which is FYFcast. The reason I bring that up, that was the flagship show. So that was me, Fear, my wife, MDI, who the two of us do Talk Life Pod, and Razor, who is MDI's brother, my brother-in-law. Now, the unfortunate thing is everything fell apart. Everything was really bad. Things got deleted off the planet. And unfortunately, we lost Razor. He had passed away. So I'm going to try to do the episode without crying, but anybody who has listened to FEARCast from back in the day, you know I've cried on the show. It's just this. So, okay, if you don't know what this is my show. This is, sometimes it is just me just talking to a mic and trying to figure out crazy thoughts I have in my head. Or sometimes I have guests on. I used to interview a lot of celebrities or musicians, which is something we want to get back to. But all in due time, with the living arrangements, the way that it's set up. We originally used to do the show out of what we called the GCA, or the Greater Calgary area. We have since moved to Winnipeg, Manitoba. Some people say that's a downgrade. Some people will be right. Now, don't get me wrong, and I'm not going to get political, because the stuff that's going on in Alberta right now is fucking stupid. But to each their own, and if me saying that makes you not want to listen to the show, well, then go fuck your mother, because I don't care. This show is for people that know me and or want to get to know me. And yeah, you know what? I'm from here on out, I fucking say what I think, and which is what I used to do. And then for a long time, I started censoring myself, and it's crazy. It's so crazy. I don't even feel like the same person anymore. And like, I have done a ton of growth ever since everything fell apart. There's been therapy, there's been medication, there's been a lot of stuff. And I've never shied away from the fact that I've got anxiety issues or depression issues. I've got a fucking handful of shit. I've got PTSD. I got a lot of stuff going on, guys. And I'm not trying to make it about that. I'm just, I personally have grown since the show originally aired. Whether that's for the good or the bad, I have no fucking idea. I feel like it's for the better. Whether that takes away from the funny, that's hard to say. But essentially, the last couple of years have been just trying to rebuild our life. And one of the kind of the first things we did is we got back into podcasting. I essentially did FEARCast, but I rebranded it as Horror in the Pit, which may just end up being I don't know, some kind of portion of the podcast rather than it being the name. I'm going back to FEARCast because my nickname's Fear. It's kind of how it all started. I like all things spooky, and I like my metal hard as fuck. I like my metal like I like my dudes rock hard. What? Yeah, I don't know, man. I say inappropriate stuff. It's just how I feel. And if you don't like it, this is not the show for you. I don't know. There's probably some namby-pamby bullshit you can go listen to. It's insane because so we've been, and I keep saying we because me and my wife are still podcasting, even though Razor is gone. But we have been podcasting since 2013. In 2016, we were racking up over 1 million listens. And like I said, we had celebrities, we were making some money. So there's part of me that wants to get back to that. And there's a part of me that this new landscape that we're in, I don't know. And back when we started doing this shit, not every comedian and celebrity and fucking every guy with something to fucking record with was making podcasts. It was like a handful of celebrities and then a bunch of us independents that were just paving the way for shit. And I don't even know. I've seen a lot of people, they used to call it pod fade. I don't know if they still do, but essentially you fade out. And I'm pretty sure a lot of fucking shows that were around when we started are gone. And for anyone that is still around, man, good for you. Because it's fucking hard. We couldn't do it. Shit happened. And I don't know what you guys can hear right now. Dreamer and MDI are in the other room watching Supernatural. And, smoking the Chiba. And Supernatural is a fun show. And sometimes there's laughter. So you might be able to hear laughter. And sometimes you might be able to hear coughing. Because big hoots, motherfucker. Mama didn't raise no fool. I don't know. So originally, FEARCast started as something to do because I was working up north in the oil fields and I was spending a lot of time in my room, which was very tiny, either fucking just sitting there or I would play video games, which is fine. I still play video games. Almost every Friday night, you can catch me on Call of Duty. I do like the Warzone. But yeah, so me and my buddies usually play Friday nights if we can. But anyway, I had nothing to do and it was crazy. And so I started the show and I didn't know where it was going to go. I love music, I love movies. And yeah, so I was just like, I can talk movies and music and that'll be fine. And that's what we'll do. And then eventually it grew into something a lot bigger. And that's been friggin' awesome. And yeah, I don't know. I was gonna do more and go into the background, but a lot of it I've already talked on Talk Life. So check it out. Go subscribe to that show. It's finding its way too. Part of the whole thing after loss is trying to regroup, and I think that's kind of where we're at now. Me and MDI is we're trying to find ourselves within the new self, if that makes any sense. If anybody's done any sort of therapy or has had anxiety and PTSD and depression and all that stuff, just so you know, you're not alone. Almost fucking everybody's got something going on. And a lot of people are too scared to admit that they need help, or some folks like me, I didn't even know I needed help. Like I always thought I was kind of crazy, but I didn't realize just how fucking crazy I was and how fucked up I was. And it's a long, hard road out of hell, and that's what we're trying to do. And in time, I believe we will find that comedy, that comedic spark back. But all in due time. And FEARCast has never been super laughy. It's pretty much been like this: me talking in a room and just hoping that people listen. And then I started getting bands and different things on. And it grew and it exploded. And there's a part of me that is so shit scared to put time back into this because, like I said, we were doing it since 2013. And essentially, I haven't done this show since, oh shit, I don't even know. I think the last episode was in 2018, 2019, somewhere in there. Maybe maybe in 2020 before the pandemic happened, but I have no idea. Either way, if you are returning from those days, thank you. Thanks a lot, man. I don't know how you found me. Uh, we don't even own our own website anymore. I'm working on that. For now, everything's being sent through NFTFYB.com. Shout out to my buddy James, who's the man behind the site, who's allowed us to create things and put stuff together and be able to still create and still try to entertain you guys while we navigate this post-pandemic uh, life and world that we live in. Yeah, I don't know. Weird times, crazy stuff, and I know that like this episode might not make any sense, or maybe some of you it will. Some of you maybe it'll give you closure. I kind of hope you can hear the laughter in the background, because it's funny that to me it's funny that I'm being kind of serious and then you just hear uproar laughter in the background. And that's something that we didn't have for a long time, was that laughter. So it's coming back. Everything's slowly trying to figure itself out, but we still have days. Earlier today, me, Dreamer, and MDI all had a little cry because we miss Razor a lot, and we love him and we hate him, and we want to hug him and we want to hit him. And I think the majority of that is just because we didn't get any answers. He didn't let us in. He stopped letting us in. And it could have been so. It's funny because I don't know where to start with this kind of stuff, because there's people that have been with us since 2013 that might start listening to this, and to them I'm rehashing a bunch of stuff, and I'm sorry. Or if you're new, like, I want to give you some information, but I also don't want to dwell on it. You know what I mean? Like, Razor was born with a heart defect, and in 2020 he was diagnosed with liver cancer. And we think that the cancer had been there a while and it had changed his personality, because he abruptly, like I said, we went from, we were making money, we were putting out shows weekly, we had celebrities, we had everything, we had a network, we had several shows on the network, and then he stopped wanting to do the shows, he stopped wanting to do anything. And we didn't see the signs. And then one day he just snapped and said that he couldn't live with us anymore, and he moved. And now we'll never get that closure. You know what I mean? Like, it ended abruptly and it ended badly. And because it was so out of left field, and at the time we weren't we weren't very good people. We weren't trying to become better people. We weren't getting medicated for things. We were just trying to live. And so everything exploded. Everybody took sides, and everybody let the pain and the anger win. Like, I deleted our YouTube channel, which we had almost 1,000 subs. Like, we were pushing pretty hard to get over that 1,000 hump. Which was just it, like, everything was just about to explode. Like, we had done good things, but I think things were just about to explode when this fell apart. And maybe we can blame the pandemic, but it was starting to fall apart before that. But that was the powder keg that took it over. And so here we are. And the reason I bring up Razor so much, one, it's been a tough day, and we all kind of miss him. And like I said, there's already been tears shed today. But the other reason I bring him up is I don't want the old episodes of FEARCast to necessarily be gone in vain, kind of deal. Like, I want to stop being the pretentious little child that I was during that time. And I want to bring back a bunch of the episodes, especially the interviews that we did with bands and people like that. And so I'm going to post them. I'm going to call them Season 1 of FEARCast. This will be the starting of Season 2. And so if you go back and listen to any of those interviews, I want to say a couple of things. Number one, you're going to hear Razor. And like I said, he has passed away. So he won't be on any future episodes, unfortunately. And you're also going to hear my buddy Ray. Now, me and Ray recently rekindled our friendship. We're two fucked up apples from a similar tree, and it works. So he's been extremely helpful with talking things out, and he's been going through some stuff, and this is good. And maybe we'll do a show where just him and I come on and we kind of bullshit and we see what happens. I don't know. You never know what's going to happen, and that's kind of the best thing about podcasting is it's at whatever you want. Like, I understand that my shit might be too niche, and I've never been one to do what everyone else is doing. So even when I was reviewing movies and talking about movies, I never watched whatever the blockbuster was. We never talked about that shit. We talked about underground horror, or we talked to independents and people that needed that sort of voice, or that stepping platform. And that was really fun, because deep down, I would love to make my own movie. And in time, maybe. I'm still trying to figure out my ADHD stuff, because I have anxiety and ADHD, and trying to like pinpoint which is which and what is what and how to make it all fucking work. Like, I don't know. My brain chemicals are not correct. So I'm trying to figure that out so I get the best chemicals and be the best version of myself, and hopefully never be the scummy piece of shit that I was. But you never know. Scummy's always going to scum. No, I'm just trying to be funny. But really, I'm trying to be a better person. And we'll see how it goes. And this isn't a self-fucking help show. And like I said, this show is going to be different than most other shows. But be prepared for shows like this. There are going to be shows where I sit down and I just ramble for I don't even know. Usually my shows are about an hour, but this one will probably be a little less. And mostly because right now it's just a ramble show. I'm just trying to bring everybody up to speed with what's been going on. I'm actually not high right now, which is another problem. When I'm high, I'm one, funnier, and two, everything slows down, which allows me to think better. Because right now I'm already worried that this episode makes no fucking sense. And that could be the case. And, sorry about it. Hopefully you're listening and you're enjoying. But the bottom line is you're going to hear some episodes that one, Razor's on, that he has passed away. And so you're going to fall in love with him, because that's the kind of guy he was. He was very smart. He was very funny, and he was a dick, and it worked out. It was a great combination for the shows that we did. And Big Daddy Ray is going to come on moving forward for some interviews, because he's always been my wingman with these interviews and stuff like that. And like I said, he's a brother from another mother. And number two, because these interviews are all a few years old, some of the bands might not be together anymore. I have no idea. I haven't really been on social media for a few years now. I'll post stuff. I'm pretty much only on like TikTok. I create shit on TikTok, or I post pictures on Instagram. Because I like to take pictures of animals and cannabis and different shit like that. And I don't know, I might start cross-posting that stuff onto the website so people can go and check that shit out there. I have no idea. I don't know. The bottom line is I've never been real good at that side of things. Razor did the website and a bunch of that stuff. And I'm learning, and same with all the editing, all this shit. He was our producer. I didn't know how to record any audio or video or any of that stuff. And then, yeah, I took like 5 years off. So I'm trying to figure it all back out. Talk Life has a few episodes out. I think we're almost, I think I just cut episode 19, which will come out this week. This week, I, it's funny to say because I don't know when you're going to listen to this. But 19 just happened. So it's a very slow process. The house we're in right now is fucking really small. We're looking to something to look in. We're looking to move into something a little bit bigger, probably in the next couple of months. And then I'm hoping within a year or two, we'll be able to buy a house. And hopefully with the next, like, hopefully the house we move into will have a little spot that I can set up and get these things out more regularly. But who knows? We'll see. I try my best, but some days the depression wins, and I don't record, and I don't feel like doing anything. And yeah, so that's unfortunate, and I'm sorry if you're a fan. I'm not going to be consistent, at least not yet. But in time, I'm hoping to at least go. Every other week would be fantastic. Every week would be ideal. That's where we would like to get back to, but I'm not going to promise anything. But with that stuff said, I hope you enjoyed the interviews with the bands because they were all very entertaining and very fun people to talk to. And we don't do normal interviews on FYFC Studios. We ask the stupid questions that nobody else will because we're weird, and we don't want to ask bands like, how long have you been playing? I don't care. Do you believe in aliens? Let's go. And I find a lot of celebrities and bands really appreciate that because there's no bullshitting. There's bullshitting. It's all bullshitting. But you know what I mean? There's no fucking same stupid questions they get asked by every fucking person that they go on. I couldn't imagine that. I try to do that myself in episodes, like try to ask the same questions. Fucking drove me nuts. I couldn't imagine having to answer the same questions 100 fucking times. So if you have weird questions that you'd like me to ask people, definitely all social media, you can hit me up, and I'll try to do my best. And moving forward, once we start having people on, I'll try to give a heads up with something like, hey, this band's going to come on. If there's any questions you want to ask, blah, blah, blah. Because we got a lot of independents, and we've got some unsigned acts that are in I don't know, maybe they're signed by now. There's a lot of research that I'm gonna have to go and start doing just to see where these bands are at. I know a couple of bands have released new singles, so I'm gonna try to get some of those folks back on. But I wanted to let you know because I'm gonna post old episodes, and I'm hoping I get all the old episodes out before the new ones start. Because yeah, I don't want you to listen, like, you're going to listen to stuff that's invalid. It's still going to be funny. It's going to be entertaining. But like, if they have an album coming out, that album's already out. It's been out for a few years. But once we get the new, stuff happening, like, I would love to start interviewing now that I'm back in a big city. I would like to start interviewing bands in person, or, and I want to incorporate video, into this, which is a big reason why I pitched the YouTube. Go over to youtube.com at FYFC Studios 1 and subscribe. I think we're at like 900 subscribers. We're trying to get over that 1,000. If I wasn't such a hothead, we would be over 1,000 by now. But alas, I had the rage. I still have the rage. That beast is still inside me, but he's heavily medicated and he's resting now. But I wasn't able to calm him down, and I just torched everything. I deleted all episodes, all websites, all in our YouTube channel, all that shit. Like a giant angry baby. But I'm trying not to dwell on the past. I'm trying to start anew. So this is what I'm doing. And I'm sorry for babbling. But welcome to season 2 of FEARCast, where we're going to dive into anything, whatever I'm looking to talk about. We used to talk a lot about UFC and stuff like that because I used to have the Champ on, which me and Champ worked together up north. And the unfortunate thing is the place closed. And so now I am in Manitoba and Champ is out east. And so I don't see that happening. But if it does, that'd be great. I'd love to have Champ on. I haven't talked to him in a while. We text each other from time to time, just letting each other know that we're there for each other and we miss each other, and that's pretty awesome. But yeah, maybe I can get Champ on the show and just even if we're not going to talk fights, just get an update on his life and how things are, and bullshit from there. So we'll see. And there's a lot of regulars that used to be on FEARCast that may or may not come back. I'm not going to name names, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm burying all the hatchets and trying to move past what was, and get back to what I like doing. And I like to try to entertain, and I like to talk, and we'll see how it goes. I'm really hoping that I've healed enough that I can make this happen. So we'll see. So let's shake that shit off. If you or someone you know is in a band, and they would love to come on a show and be interviewed by a stoner and talk crazy and have fun, reach out. You can hit me up on all social media, and I'll try to get back to everybody if I can. There's a couple bands I already have in mind. There's a local band I just saw the other day. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I went to my first concerts in years. I saw Malevolent Hand, which is the local band here in Winnipeg, and they fucking kick some ass. And I might put them as the song of the week. I think that's probably a good thing. So that's another thing I used to do. I used to do song of the week a lot, and yeah, and there's so many things that I want to do, and it's just trying to figure that thing out and get the motivation to do it. But I went to see Malevolent Hand and a couple other bands. I can't think of the other bands off the top of my head, but they were all local or at least semi-local acts. And then last month I got to see Killswitch Engage come to town with a couple other bands. Jeez, I can't believe it. My mind is drawing a blank on everybody that was there. But Killswitch was the main act, and there was a couple other bands that were really good. Fit for a King and Kubla Khan, TX, and there was another band at the beginning that I missed, unfortunately. But either way, I would like to try to get into a place where I can talk to these guys, bullshit with them, get some video stuff, which is why I'm pushing the YouTube so hard. And yeah, I don't know, just give something that maybe a lot of folks around here aren't currently doing or getting, and yeah, just try to bring my fear style to this. But yeah, so I saw a few bands. I'm gonna go see more bands. That's kind of the plan, and there is quite a bit of bands that kind of come through here. Lately I have been like new metal from the late 90s, early 2000s is definitely my bread and butter. But the last couple of months I have been really getting into like fucking extreme metal shit, mostly guttural stuff like that. So I used to do a fucking like, it was like a clip show, but it was music. I used to call it the oh shit, I can't, mixtape. I think I called it the mixtape, and I would just play a bunch of songs from bands that are either on the show, coming on the show, or something like that. And so I was kind of thinking maybe what I'll do is like mini episodes in between, and I'll call it like maybe that'll be Horror in the Pit or something. I don't know. Either way, it'll be like 5 songs I think you should know. And then what I'm thinking about doing is maybe starting Spotify, just playlists that people can go check out. And so every time I do one of those mixtapes, I'll throw those on the Spotify, and then you can just go and listen to the, like, my giant mixtape. If you like heavy metal and stuff like that. If you don't, dude, this is don't don't download this episode. You do not want to listen to this because I like the heavy, baby. And I'm weird. Maybe you guys don't know. I'm fucking weird. I can't help it. Like I said, you guys are lucky that I'm not stoned right now. I should be, but for this first episode, I was like, number one, figure out how to get it through the fucking mic instead of the fucking. So the latest episode of Talk Life, I thought we had everything. We put everything through the board. We each had mics. And then apparently I hit record from the mic on my laptop. So, yeah. Daddy's a little rusty. Sorry about that. I shouldn't call myself daddy. That's weird. You should call me daddy. No, I'm just kidding. Ooh, got weird. Anyway, so yeah, so there's a lot of bands that I want to have on the show. I'm kind of nervous about my gear. My gear's all fucking old as shit. There's constantly like hums and weird stuff in my ear. I'm hoping it doesn't come across in the recording. If it does, man, I'm sorry. I just don't have the money right now for a new board. And that's kind of another thing that's holding me back is I would like to have bands on, but I don't trust this board to play properly, which fucking sucks. And that's the reason we got this board in the first place is we started having bands on and we wanted to do it. So I don't know. Maybe it's too old. Maybe I haven't taken proper care of it. We'll see. Maybe it just needs a clean. Maybe there's a guy here in town that fucking does electronics and we can figure all that out. But the bottom line is, man, I'm back. I hope you dig it. If anybody listening to this, you're along for the ride. And so not every episode is going to be the same. And so that's kind of how FEARCast went. We had people that only listened to me when I had Champ on because they only wanted to hear fights. We had people that only listened when bands were on. We had people that only listened if I had a movie person on. And then there's people that listen to all of it because they liked the break from everything when I just did one of these random ramblings. And anybody that's down, just know I fucking love you. I love that you're fucking here and you're doing great. And we're in this together and the world is fucked. But that doesn't mean we can't have fun. We can't rock and we can't fucking really try to grab what we have in this life by the balls. And I know it's really fucking hard. Like I said, I don't want to get political, but the world is fucked right now and the landscape is fucked and we're all slowly getting choked out. But I'm hoping I can take your mind off of that shit for a few minutes every week, whatever I end up doing. Again, I'll never be consistent, but I'll definitely be entertaining. So make sure you subscribe or follow or like or whatever the platform you're currently listening or watching this on. Subscribe, be part of it. As soon as you hit that subscribe button, you are part of this. You can help me grow. You can share me with friends. You can share me with your friends. I told you I was weird. Yeah, spread the word, man. Spread it out there in the best we can, and we'll grow this. And I've got a Discord. The link is in the bio. I'm old, man. I'm in my 40s, so most people you're not going to give a shit about this, but I have a Discord and I'd like to have a community of people that are into my shit or into metal or into horror movies and just having a good time, and they want to chat. And I've already got something kind of going, and I've got some guys in there, and we do silly things all the time, like top 5 songs of this band or top 5 songs from this era. Like we just do silly things all the time. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you're going to want to be part of it. Hit me up and I can add you to it, and we can figure it out from there. I think I'm gonna cut shit off here. I'm not gonna do a song of the week this week. It's too much. This is the second podcast I've done. I've recorded bumpers. It's a lot for a guy that has been sitting around doing fuck all for a while. But it's been good, and thanks for listening. And until next time, run along, kiddies.